Who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat. Sit back. Relax. Put your feet up. Grab a drink. And let's talk. Saint football. Y'all know what time it is. Time to keep it real. Let's go. Family, family, family. How you doing? The doors are now open. So you already know. Come on in. I'm Dolph Jackson, and this is the Keeping It Real Who That Sports Podcast. And we're alive on the Come On In Sports Network. Hope everyone's having a great afternoon, a great Wednesday evening, afternoon, and I hope your evening is just as good. With that being said, family, I'm not going to keep you long. Just going to go over a few news and notes that we have on our beloved New Orleans Saints. Well, the Saints made the big fish. The Saints landed the big fish. We signed Chase Young. Everyone was excited. And then news broke that Chase Young will have to undergo neck surgery for a stinger, which he received during the preseason of this past season and played with throughout the entire season. With that stinger, he was able to get 7.5 sacks this season. So here's hoping that Chase Young's surgery, which was scheduled for today, goes well and that his rehab is successful. Now, when we heard that the Saints guaranteed him $13 million and then news broke about his injury, everyone was up in arms like, how can the Saints give a player $13 million guaranteed? This is why his market was low. It has come out that other teams knew about his injury and he did not pass the physical for other teams. Thus, that is why he probably moved on from Carolina. That is why Carolina went in another direction and brought in the edge rushers, defensive ends that they have. But Chase Young and the Saints struck the deal for $13 million on surface, but is it really 13 million? Good news, family. It is not. The Saints constructed this contract in such a way it is genius by them. It covers them, and it has incentive for Chase Young to go out there when he is fully healthy and ball his behind off to reach the $13 million, which was first reported as being guaranteed. So I'm gonna share this article with your family. I can't share the screen with you. I'm at work, and I'm actually family doing this on my iPad, but it don't matter. We family. I had to talk to family. We go get it in. All right, fam. This is courtesy of our brother John Sigler at Saints Wire USA. John writes, now this is interesting. The whirlwind of a week for Chase Young and the New Orleans Saints. Fans following this saga were surprised to see him sign a fully guaranteed $13 million contract on Monday. All of us were surprised when the Saints signed him because no one expected the Saints to sign any player this year to such a lucrative deal of $13 million. But the contract turned to be but the contract turned out to be for just 1 year before it was reported that Young before it was reported that Young would undergo neck surgery. That procedure is going to sideline him into training camp. Now, there's another twist as the full picture becomes clearer. Family, the Saints knew. They knew about his medicals before they agreed to the contract. It's structured, the contract, speaking of, is structured in such a unique way that they're protected. The Saints protected themselves in case Chase Young misses any time recovering from his surgery. Now, CBS Sports' Jonathan Jones first reported that the Saints signed Young to a deal that includes, now here's where we have to listen. Now, here's where we have to pay attention. The deal includes $7.99 million in per game roster bonuses. I'm gonna say that again. $7.99 million, almost $8 million. You might well say $8 million is tied up to him being available for each game. No, he doesn't get that. Of course, he doesn't get it for playing one game. This is how this will work. He will only receive that $7.99 million if he each week during the 2024 season. Again, for Chase Young to receive the $7.99 million, he has to be active for the entire 2024 football season. Now, so Young's risk, so he risks losing $470,000 per game if he's unavailable. Now, what also is unique is this. Any game that he misses, that $470,000 gets credited back to the Saints to go toward their 2025 salary cap. Genius by Kai and Mickey on that. Great move by them. So what really is Chase Young's contract? Well, Young's base salary is just, get this family, $2.7 million. His base salary is just $2.7 million. He received $1.86 million as a signing bonus. He got a $450,000 workout bonus. That means Young's contract is effectively, get this family, a $5 million contract. So effectively, the Saints have signed him to a $5 million contract. In order for that contract to turn into the $13 million guarantee that was reported, he will have to be available each and every single week for the regular season. Only time will tell. So a great move by the Saints. Listen, it is a low risk, high reward for the Saints, signing Chase Young. It's the off season. Look, get in there, get the surgery done soon as possible, which was conducted today. All information, all reports is that Young underwent surgery immediately today, which is great news. Go ahead, start the healing process, start the rehab process, and try to at least be back toward the end of training camp, hopefully for the last preseason game, and be ready to go either week 1 or week 2 of the regular season. We got to be realistic. So that's why his market was low. Teams around the league knew of this injury, and only 3 teams showed interest: the Panthers, the Saints, and the Titans. The Saints definitely wanted him. He wanted the Saints. The Saints protected themselves with this deal. I love how they structured the contract, family. So in the chat, family, let us know what you think about the way the Saints structures this deal. Again, how do you feel about the Chase Young signing now? It doesn't change how I feel. I think it's a great addition. He's going to get healthy. He's 24 years old. He got 7.5 sacks last year playing with a bum neck. Now he's going to get fully healthy and be able to come out there 100%. And he's not going to be wore down by the rigorous of training camp, because he's going to come back probably the end of the second week, maybe end of the third week of training camp, right before camp gets ready to break. So he'll have to get in the football shape. The Saints will, of course, will keep him on will rev him up real slow, not wanting to force anything, not wanting to let him go too hard to where he injures himself. So the key is, the plan is, hey, let's get this surgery, let's get him healthy, let's get through rehab, let's get him in training camp toward the end of training camp, let's get him in shape, and let's see where he is in week 1. If he's not ready to go in week 1, hey, he'll be ready hopefully in week 2 and beyond. And again, it besets him to be out there from week 1 on. The more games he plays, the closer he gets to actually receive $15 million that was reported guaranteed. Again, this is only a 1-year deal. It is a low risk, high reward. And if he comes back and he plays to the full capability of his talents, and he leaves it all out on the field each and every single play, week after week, and he has a good season or a special season, him and the Saints can go back to the table and work out a long-term agreement to keep him in the black and gold. But that's the latest there, family, on Chase Young. Again, for those who don't know, Chase Young did undergo surgery today for his neck injury. It was reported that he played the entire 2023 season with a stinger, with a bad neck. The kid still was able to get 7.5 sacks. So let's get this straightened out, and let's get Chase Young into the fold, family. Now, the Saints were not done, family. Some more news came out with the Saints, as the Saints family have agreed to terms to bring back a 1-year deal to bring back one of my favorite players from last year, from training camp on. He was a solid addition to the team. He's versatile. He's one of the core special team players now. The Saints re-up with safety slash nickel cornerback and special teamer Ugo Amadi. A solid player, a good addition, bringing back in the black and gold. Ugo Amadi is back in black and gold. And of course, early in the week, the Saints signed veteran wide receiver Cedric Wilson to a 2-year deal. Now, some look at this deal like, man, Cedric Wilson, you got Renfro out there, you got Tyler Boyd out there, you got out there. Why Cedric Wilson? Well, Cedric Wilson, because Cedric Wilson's coming from Miami. Cedric Wilson played in the same offense that Clint Kubiak would be installing in New Orleans. Cedric Wilson will be able to help the young wide receivers in that receiver room catch on to this offense and learn this offense. Plus, Cedric Wilson, he's no Traquan Smith. He's no slouch. His last year in Dallas was his best year. I believe 45 catches, over 600 something yards, 5 touchdowns. He had some big moments for the Cowboys that year. Thus, he played themselves into the lucrative contract he got from the Miami Dolphins. But of course, when he got to Miami, had to learn. They went coaching chain, had to learn new offense. And listen, they got the cheetah, and they're loaded over there with receiver talent over there in Miami. Cedric Wilson is not a bad player. Cedric Wilson is capable of being your third wide receiver or your fourth wide receiver. He can play the slot also, and he can take it to the house. Cedric Wilson is not a plotting wide receiver. He has some juice in his get-up. So Cedric Wilson is a member of the New Orleans Saints. The Saints bought Cedric Wilson. We're just recapping on what the Saints did, family. Now, also the Saints made another addition. This time the Saints made an addition to the offensive line, family, as the Saints signed former Minnesota Vikings offensive lineman Ali Sameka Udoh. Ali Sameka Udoh, formerly of the Minnesota Vikings. He played his first 5 years there with the Vikings. He was there when Clint Kubiak was the offensive coordinator. He's from the University of Elon, a small school. He's versatile. He's played all over the offensive line, left tackle, right tackle, left guard, right guard. So the Saints get another versatile player in here who knows the system. Once again, that Clint Kubiak is going to be installing. And again, the Saints are not hamstringing themselves to these players. This is only a 1-year deal. Also, just reported today, listen, we knew how much the Saints liked Jonathan Abram. They loved the way he played last year, especially down the stretch. They bring Jonathan Abram back on a 1-year term, but expect Jonathan Abram to battle for that starting safety spot opposite of Tyrann Mathieu. It will be a battle between him and young Jordan Howden, who the Saints absolutely love, and whoever else the Saints bring in. Maybe does this stop the Saints from going out and bringing in another safety? No, it does not. But Jonathan Abram is back, and he's a key player on special teams. And speaking of special teams, once again, the Saints signed New Orleans native St. Augustine alum Stanley Morgan, formerly of the University of Nebraska. He's played his entire career up to this point with the Cincinnati Bengals. He has 5 catches in his career but he has been a standout on special teams. Again, the Saints lost Isaac Yiadom. You need these type of players. You need special team players. You need gunners. You need those special team aces. And hey, Stanley Morgan is a very good special team player. That's how I see him making this team. When he spoke with the media, he said he did look at the wide receiver room. He would like to make noise as a wide receiver also, not just as a special teams player. Hey, we will see. Because if you ask me, family, I'm just speaking for myself. Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed are locks. A.T. Perry somewhat. You got, so his battle is going to be with him, Cedric Wilson, any undrafted free agent the Saints bring in, or Brian Thomas, who the Saints go surprise everybody with. So when the Saints surprise everybody and draft him at 14. I'm just saying. I'm throwing that out there right now, family. The Saints go shock everybody and draft Brian Thomas from LSU with the 14th pick of the draft. How would you feel about that, Who That Nation? Leave it in the chat and let your boy know. Listen, family, I want to remind you guys to join us tonight, family. That's right. The Come On In Sports Networks, as the NFL turns, we will be live tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. John, Zach, Non-Fiction, Carlos, PJ, Coach Rock, and myself tonight at 8:30 p.m. as we recap the free agent frenzy, first half of the free agent frenzy period. We will be joined by Believing Lions on Mr. Jack Kavanaugh and Jeremy of Stump the Stampede. So again, tonight, 8:30 p.m., we're live, family, on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Listen, family, y'all have a great day. And don't forget, tonight, I will see everybody tonight. And like always, love and Who Dat. Keeping it real, Who Dat Sports Pod, legendary Coach Rock, those 17. Let's rock. Who Dat? Boss kick, black and gold. Let's go. First and goal from the one. Best believe we go punch. Punching in, get them punch. With them Saints, watch us march. Down the field, down your throat. Keeping it real, Who Dat Sports. Breaking news, interviews, open lines just for you. Call in, join in, Pale Nation, just win. B.I., Mount Zion, Coach Green, oh my, CJ, JV, Trick or Trade, Jose. Keep it real, baby. Keep it real, baby. Keep it real, baby.